Guys, Ed from Kansas City here, and we are talking about Lord's Mobile and why I quit playing Lord's Mobile, or at least I stopped. Why did I stop the investing in the game? There's a lot of reasons for that, guys. If you don't know, Lord's Mobile was made by IG&G. It is a um, very addictive game. It's a very uh, exciting game. I used to play it. I found myself playing it, for hours at a time. Sometimes you get very little sleep. Uh, but very, very, very costly, guys. So here's a picture. Here's a screenshot right there. The first picture you're seeing right there is a screenshot. When I started playing, this picture is from October 2016, guys. October 27th. It was a Thursday, 2016 is when I took the screenshot of that one. And that's when I had my own guild at the time right there. It was called EJT, which are kind of like my initials. So those are, and I started playing then. And of course, there was no manual or anything of learning how to play the game. Back then you had people like King HTV who would give pointers. You had a whole lot of other streamers and, large mobile players that were making YouTube videos. And they were basically sort of like all the rest of us players. They was basically trying to figure out the right strategies and things. And, you had VNN CG, I think that's his name. He was interesting to watch. He was a gamer as well, played Lars Mobile, and he also made streaming YouTube videos about it. He was very educational with it. He was really good. I messaged him a few times. So you also had people like Shorty Doo Wop, with GZT, Godzilla's Tail or whatever it was called back then. So you had a lot of good English speaking or English players, and of course you had a lot of Chinese players and different, Taiwan, German, Spanish, Hispanic, or whatever. Everybody's played the game, guys. Everybody. So I started playing in 2016, not knowing really how to play. But what I think propelled me and pushed me really in the game is the first time that I ever got zeroed, when I was at probably about, I don't know, maybe 100 million might or something. So let's take a look at a couple more pictures here. And let's look at a couple more pictures. So I think the next picture is this one here. Right here, this picture, I was about, as you can see, I'm with KJ right there, which KJ we were a family to DJ, which was the Joker family. So I was a part of that family right there. And we had Baron was in there. What was her name? I forgot her name. The leader of the guild is a female. I apologize if she's just happened to stumble upon this video and I've forgotten her name. But don't forget, guys, the channel is Ed from Kansas City. Of course, I don't do gaming content anymore. I really didn't stream it then. So right about now, I'm just basically going to share why I don't play Lord's Mobile anywhere, which I think the reason is kind of obvious, but it's not so obvious, guys. So this particular picture where I was at about 615 million might, this was in around March of 2018. Now, keep in mind, I was playing with a warring guild, which was KJ, which was KJ, BJ, DJ, which was the Joker family. And we had our alliances and things like that. But, when you're playing with and then of course you had GJ. I think GJ was mostly the Hispanic Jokers or players who were part of the Joker family. But we had our alliances too. Now, like I said, back then you had a lot of great players, man, that forgive me, I don't remember all of their names, you know. Uh, but you know, like I said, Bren Chong and you know Shorty Doo Wop. You know, there was a lot of great players, you know, that were had a lot of might. So here this is in 2018. Of course, guys, we're in 2022 now, right? So this was in March, around March 2018, as I began to increase my might. When I actually joined, I joined a guild uh, that was kind of like family with. Well, actually, I was joined the guild uh, that had a one of their biggest mic players. He was a billion mic player. And he had zeroed me one time when we moved to this kingdom. He zeroed me. I was probably at 150, 60, 70, 80,000 mic, just, you know, something like that. And they zeroed me, caught me while I was at work, and I had worked a double. Didn't expect to be at work that long, so my shield expired, and next thing you know, I'm realizing it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh man, I'm supposed to have been off work at 11, and I would have been home. And now, of course, my shield expired, but I got so wrapped up in the work that, you know, I got to be at home. And, you know, I'm at work now, and I forgot. So I go to the restroom, and there it was. I was zeroed. I had accidentally busted out over 1 billion and something uh, of gold and stuff. So, you know, that was a good, you know, good hit for him. But, you know, I ended up joining that guild. And then that's when I ended up, you know, he, like I said, he was at 1 billion and something like that. And when I finally ended up joining that guild, I ended up, you know, being one of the actual second biggest mic player in that particular guild. And I think Baron was in there, and a couple of other people who we actually branched off, and we went into we actually went into the form BJ or KJ. I think it was BJ at the time. So let's look at another picture here. I'm going to back up some more where I had, I think we're going to be right about, I think, is it here? Okay, this is when I started. But let's go back to when I started. That's not when I started. This is where I met this is where I met. And this picture was about, like I said, the other one was 2018. So you can see from 2016 to 2018, in Lawrence Mobile, I was already at 1.3 billion might. And I guess that would have been under 2 years, right? That I was became a billion mic player. If I check the date right quick. So that was October 2016 till that would be March. So about a year and a half, right? Let me see, October, November, December, March, April, March. So about a year and November, December, January, February, March. About almost a year and a half is when I boosted up to 1.3 million mic. Okay, so by this time I had a little bit of experience. I was pretty confident, pretty cocky. I still didn't have a lot of strategy down, you know, the proper phalanxes or, you know, things like that. Lawrence Mobile wasn't as complicated then as it is now, with all the upgrades and, you know, all these different types of packs and upgrades that can make people hit harder. You know, the type of might I had back then, it was difficult to zero. You didn't hear of back then a lot of billion mic players getting just zeroed, but you could if you were caught necessarily. You could. I mean, I used to do things like crazy things, guys. Like, you know, you have to make sure you can hear that alarm that notification when you're asleep. So that required me at times to connect my actual Bluetooth speaker to my phone while I slept, so that the alarm would serve, you know, the alert, the notification would serve as an alarm and wake me up if there was a point where I was being attacked, because I'd never shielded. I never ever shield, guys. But so around this time, I think around this time, I can't say exactly how much I had invested in the game. I probably had spent at this time probably about $15,000 on the game. And we'll take a look at some of the gear I had. Let's take a few look at the pictures. So that's one. So I went from 1.3 million might to 1.6 million might. And that picture there was probably about, let's see. And as you can see, I'm with BJ now on that picture. So that picture there is about the other one. This one here, this picture here was in January 2019. So this picture was January 2019. This picture here was January 2019. So actually it's, you got 17, 18. So over 2 years had expired before I reached this level here. Over 2 years of playing from 16 to 19. And then we go to this picture here, which at that picture there, at that time, I would have been about, this was in June of 2019. So about 5 months later, I accumulated some more might. And there's my little gear that I had and my little bitty KLs that I had. Okay, and then of course I got my leader there. That's when that leader came out, around that time in 2019. That particular leader, Princess, came out. I figured that was the best leader for me. I enjoyed that leader. It was a good leader. So around that time, and I had several leaders. I made a few YouTube videos of how I progressed through, growing in large mobile. How, my stages of growth. Now, that's who I was thinking about, guys. It's funny that her name comes up. Coco. Coco still plays too. Baron still plays. Midnight or Dark Knight, or I forgot his name, guys. He was another one of the players that were in BJ with us. So that was a beautiful guild to be with, guys. They were, like I said, they was a part of the Joker family. So we were warring guild. So by this time, I don't know, I probably, like I said, I probably spent maybe 15,000 at this time in this game. And that's just from buying all the heroes. I had multiple, I'm talking about, I probably had like 10 paid heroes all maxed out. And I had just about every other hero too. I had quite a few paid heroes, guys. So by this time, I had spent probably about 15,000 on the game. Like I said, ever since I became a bigger player, I had never been zeroed, and I've had some of the biggest people try to zero me. Now, I ended up leaving BJ because when it reached the point when I became such a big player, I was the biggest might player on their squad. And it's good to get in a squad that is active. That someone's always online, just in case there is a rally attack or something going down. They'll have your phone number, through WhatsApp or whatever ways of communication, whether it's Messenger or whatever other apps that people use to call or just call your number straight through and wake you up because if you're asleep. I've had plenty of times where Coco or Baron or somebody had to call me because sometimes you miss those notifications, guys, whether your notifications doesn't get to you or it doesn't get sent or you're just in a deep sleep. But I've had times where Coco and them call me or whatever, and you're not in war gear, you're in your hunting gear or you're in something else, or maybe not even have your leader or something, maybe you have been captured at the time and you're sitting there, sleeping or whatever you're doing, and next you get a rally. But for the most part, I always stayed online. There's only been a couple of times at max time that I've ever been not online. So I've only had probably 2 calls in a couple of years where I had to get notification, or about a year, because I played with BJ for about a year. But when it reached the point where, guys, those scrolls or those migration scrolls, And you guys got to forgive me. I haven't played Lord Mobile in any serious way and since 2020. So at some point in 2020, around mid 2020, I'm thinking that's when I exited, and left Lord's Mobile for the most part as a active, warring, pay to play player. And now nowadays, when I used to play, I used to whenever I did play, because I had a couple accounts. I would play and I would use my Google points, that I earned in my Google credit or pay that I would get, Google, your Google money, from doing surveys and stuff like that. So, you get a 40 cent here, 30 cent here, 10 cent here, a dollar here, you just use that to buy the little dollar packs. But, yeah, so, but let's get back to the next picture of the growth and then tell you guys why I actually quit. Okay, so I think so. Here we are. This picture was after the last one, and it had to be. This picture was in October 2019. And as you can see, I went from 1,625 to 1,078, which is, as you see, I had 123 kills, and then I have 133 kills. So I got 10 million kills out of it, but I lost about 45 or so billion might. Now this would have came from. I'm trying to figure out. It wouldn't have been me getting a rally, although it's possible. I don't think it was. I'm thinking it was more so. I want to say it was because we did some rallies, or maybe it was KVK, and I was hitting some people and just clowning, because I used to love KVK. Because when you're that big back then, it didn't matter if you was in Fury or anything like that. You wasn't going to get zeroed, I mean, and I mean, I'm sure there were times where people had their rally parties of, 60 rally party, the LH family or stuff like that, and all that, but pretty much, I think I was always at a point where I was pretty much sure I wasn't going to get rallied or zeroed at any time. I could go and sit in any hive and just start attacking, and of course I had my preference on who I attacked. So this picture here, like I said, this was in October 2019. Okay, so the next picture. All right, here we are. As I said, I went down to 1,578 with 133 million kills, and then here I am in a. I think this is KVK, guys, and I was attacking someone and got my leader captured, of course, which that's going to happen. So that one is only about a couple of weeks later, October 19th of 2019, and I'm back at 101.615 million mics. So that's one of the things about the game. You have to replace those troops. It doesn't matter if they're T1, T2, T3, T4 troops. There was not T5 troops at that time. So you have to replace those troops. So when you drop down to 150 on 1.5, million might, and then you go back up 10 million might or so like that, or 15 million might or 20 million might, that costs a significant lot of money. It's a lot of gems that you got to spend. It's a lot of gems you have to spend. And then sometimes you might not have gems. Like in this picture, I only had 6.6K gems, But it's a lot of gems you got to spend. It's a lot of resources that you have to use. As you can see, the resources in the top right corner there. You have to use a lot of resources, guys. Probably at this point when you see those kind of resources out, maybe I just bought resources, or I was gemming some troops or something, or I was, doing some troops or speed ups or whatever. Okay, so I went back to there, and guys, I think the game is like I said, it's very interesting. It's enjoyable. I reached a point where I couldn't afford to continue to keep migrating because those scrolls cost money, guys. And I didn't. And you know, when you're Warren Guild, you migrate maybe every month or every other month. So with somebody like me having to migrate, most kingdoms that I went into, I was ranked number in the top 10 of migrating. So I'm having to spend 20 and 30 and uh, migration scrolls, and that cost quite a bit. Even when you're buying the $5 packs to get the migration scrolls, or the $9 packs, or whatever they had. You know, they go up to $99 packs. So that's that picture there. And so when I left off of playing with BJ Nim and KJ Nim, I pretty much never really found a warring guild other than I think TA. TA was a warring guild. We had a pretty good guild there. Even though I can't really remember, guys, the guild. Because I guess I didn't really kick it with them that much as I did with Coco and them, and Baron and all the other guys. Okay, so after that, it goes to right about here, guys. This picture here was taken in when I became a 2 billion mite player. This picture was taken in about, I was 2.145. This was in April 2020, guys. So about a year later or less, I had boosted up to over 2 billion mite, guys. I was never a player to kind of really go hard on gear. I was working on gear. I didn't have the best gear at all. My reliance was on the many troops that I had. So as you see, I also have 170,000 kills at that time. Well, whereas you look at the last one, I only had 133. So I've added some might. I've added also some kills. I'm enjoying the game, but I realize it's expensive, because the truth of the matter is, guys, there was times that I would purchase packs and be using my overdraft in the bank, and that's like $24 per purchase. And if I purchase like $600 worth of orders that day, that's six. That could be, who knows how many purchases that could. It could be 10. It could be 15. But that's $24 a hit, guys, that you're paying extra to your bank. And then if you're using your credit card, or if you're using your money that you should be like maybe growing your business with, because by this time, guys, I was fully invested in my own business. Which, if you watch the YouTube videos, Ed from Kansas City, then you'll know we do that reselling. We do that, purchasing truckloads and things like that. And, the online stores such as eBay and, Poshmark, Facebook, all the stores. So, we sell goods. So around this time in April 2020, I still enjoy playing the game, but I wasn't trying to be a really big spender in it. And at this time, they started coming out with T5 troops, guys, around this time. And I was of the position that I didn't think, I said, I'm not going to rush to get T5 troops. I said, I'm not going to do it. And this was at this point now. So what my plans were going to be in the future was just to accumulate more T2 troops as a wall for these people who have T5, who have T5 troops, to kind of use as a wall, to counter that until I go into, the, T5. Now, around this time, guys, I've already like 20 or 22,000 invested in Large Mobile. And that didn't sit well with me when I looked at that, when I looked at what it costs. IGG, I mean, there was a lot of problems here and there with them never accepting responsibility of glitches in their app and in the game. You know, and I used to watch people like, of course, always used to watch people like uh, uh, Dark Magistrate. I think that was his name. Of course, he zeroed himself on large mobile. I forgot his name, man. He zeroed himself on large mobile. He was a billion plus player. He zeroed himself because he was leaving the game. Period. And I was like, wow, that's deep, But Alvarex, people like him, I used to love watching them. By this time, you had a lot of people come into the game. Now, keep in mind, guys, I'm with a guild now that it was, I would just join certain guilds. They would love to have me. I could be like a defender and help them out. But around this time is when the game kind of started getting a little more serious. It's always been serious because there's always been money involved. But around this time, the game started getting a little bit more serious when you have, certain big players, and they don't have necessarily have to be big players, but they got the proper gear. Which is what I didn't necessarily invest with. As you can see, I was pushing it, but I didn't want to invest so heavy into gear and be spending so much money and then lose out on, having the might there and the ability to be able to be unshielded and to be able to take rallies. So when you got guys that was doing that, here I am again right there. Pictures in about the same time there. That picture there. So, yeah, it reached that point there where here, I'm going to show you guys, that's 245. Here's one of the attacks that I had back then. So, as you can see, back then I had over 60 million troops. And that hit there came, I'm going to try to show you guys or tell you guys when that particular hit happened. It would have been in 2020, of course, but let's see if I can get that time frame for you guys right quick. When it was this guy and it was PRADA TAI or something, TAI or something. Because of course you guys know PRADA. I don't know if he's still playing on his own account or not, but he used to message me here and there, telling me how he wants to zero me, and I told him it's never going to happen. And of course, he tried to rally me quite a few times. He was very unsuccessful every time he tried it. And because I was always online, always had my notifications on, even when I was not any longer in the BJ or KJ or with the DJ family. Of course, with DJ or KJ, you joined for rallies. You were doing DJ and with the Jokers, and you would be over there in that guild, and you choose to stay and keep migrating, or you just go back to the regular one. But they normally always follow each other, no matter what. So I'm looking for that picture there, the time frame on it, if I can get it, guys. Just a second here. I'm not sure when it was. Can't find that picture necessarily, but it was, I think it was in 2020 when that particular hit from PRADA and this guy, and when they tried to rally me, basically. So, and that's the old picture there. So, but I wanted to go now to the game now. I wanted to go to the game now, guys. I don't play anymore. In 2020, I gave the account over to one of my best friends. And, of course, he had been in the guilds with me for years when I had my own guild and all that type of stuff.
A new discovery.
And a lot of this stuff, guys, I don't even know what the hell it is, because I don't play on this account. And this is the first time I've actually logged into this account.
Our turf is
in over 6 months.
Great news.
They're playing games. Okay, anyway.
A new discovery.
So, let me get out of here. All right, so get back to that at some other time. So, here's the account now, guys. And it looks like my guy hasn't been online in a minute either. He just doesn't push buttons. But, and this is the first time, like I said, I've logged into the game. in probably I haven't locked in uh, all year. Uh, so let's see if we can get it back in here. I don't know if he logged in or not. So let's check it out. He could have logged in. I'm not sure. I probably should have told him message him and let him know I was making a video on his account. Now, keep in mind, guys, my internet might be slow as hell because I'm on a hotspot and not on a regular internet. So if it takes a little longer than normal, then forgive me for that. But I'm gonna see if I can shoot my guy Daniel. Shout out to Daniel a message and let him know that I am on the account making a video. So, okay, what can I find this? I'm trying to see my text, guys. Okay, but anyway, so here's where the account's at now at 500 million mic. So there's a story behind it. When I gave it to Daniel, I think I was almost at 2.2 billion mic. And of course, Daniel does have over 100 and no, actually, he has like 110 million more kills. I think when I gave it to him, I had like 177 million kills or something like that. And here's what I was saying about the troops. Here's the lineup of troops that I have. That one's a page. That one's paid. Who else is paid? Big guys paid. Who else is paid? I don't know if Incinerator is paid or not, guys. But we know this is paid. I didn't like that one, so I never max it out. And then this one here I could have maxed out, but I figured at the level she was at, she would be effective enough. So I had quite a few of the heroes, but some of them I decided to not max out. So I actually only had 1, 2, 3. I guess that would be, because I'm not sure. I think this is I'm not sure if she's a paid or free one or not, guys. I don't know. Could be. But we know I had basically three fully maxed out ones there. But what happened was, my guy, he just so happened to be at work, and he works for like a big Ford company, and it just so happened he reached a point where he left his phone in one of the vehicles, and man, that's all it took. He had to wait for hours to retrieve his phone from some vehicle that had been sent away. And so that's all he needed, guys, to be zeroed. So yeah, he got zeroed down to base might of like whatever it was, 500, and that did it. I don't know how long he's not been active. I don't know. Where have you been? Right. But he's got a lot of messages and things like that. He hasn't, a lot of people that's been trying to attack the account. And he's got some gems he didn't collect. He's already got 1.3 million gems. Collect that. I don't know how long he's been inactive, guys. Let's put some more gems back in there. This is not maxed out. It's maxed out, okay. But there's a lot of stuff, one of the things on here that I used to really love having was the Grim Reaper was my favorite, man, or was that my favorite? Yeah, I think so, guys, because this one here would kill the enemy's birds with troops. the higher tier first. So I used to love hitting people with this one because it would, no matter what, they losing like a million might or whatever, a couple of million or something. So, but here's the reason why I stopped playing. When I looked at, I'm sure it's not on here anymore, the saved ones. I'm sure it's not on here anymore. I haven't been on here forever. It says the last purchase 12, 13, 18, last one saved. But here's an attack right here, guys, that I was telling you guys about PRADA. There he is right there, my peoples. That's when he attacked, but he attacked only there with a familiar of some sort. Let's see if there's another one. Attacked by him from familiar. He attacked with the Pin Reaper. I hit him with the same one, of course. But I guess I thought I might have saved some of the battles between them. Sorry about that. I hope that number is not the same. But anyway, there's another attack by him. Enemies captured. Here's an attack right here, guys. As you can see how many soldiers I had at the time, right? Almost 86 million troops is what I had, guys. Here's the mic drop. I lost 19. He lost 85. PRADA hits pretty hard, guys. He hits pretty hard. And this was in 1/16 of 20. So as you can see right then, he lost 85 million, might I lost 20. So around that time where around that time, guys, where I had probably lost 45 million bytes, it could have come from PRADA and someone else. I don't know. But there's another attack by him. Like I said, he always would try. Of course, this time he came with his leader, and I captured it. Of course, executed it. I'm sure I didn't give it back to him. I might have gave it back to him and said, come on again, I'm sure if I hit this button, this is expired, yeah. But PRADA's, he is still playing, guys, to this day. He's 3 billion might. He's in almost 3 billion kills as well. He still plays very much so, guys. He's got a lot of the artifacts. He's got the castle stars. He's got the champ gear. So he's a very big player today. And this is one of the guys, like I said, that back then he was trying to attack me back then. So the next one, he didn't send his leader this time. And maybe he caught me this. I don't know why there's I must have had because this is 1/16/20 at 9:13. This is 1/16/20 at 9. So maybe I played like I was offline, guys, and just kept letting him hit. But maybe he felt this guy's online, so maybe he felt like I was online, and then he stopped it, and he stopped attacking. Here's another person, JVT. That's an old deal back in the days, guys. And of course, you see there I had 80. This is at 1/26/20, so you see I built those troops right back up. And yeah, you see I'm building back up. Now let's look at what kind of troops I had at the time, guys. Let's go into that if it allows us. So I had 87 million troops in 1/26/20. But let's see if we can look at the battle report. It has expired and tell you the composition of the troops that I had. So as you see right there, I had 87 million troops. And I was going to keep going, like I said, I was going to at this point in the game, because I didn't have T5. I figured what I would do at that time is I'd start making T2s as a wall. And as you can see right there, Creed 4, he is still playing live in the game, guys. They still play. They still are dropping so much money into this game. And I don't understand how to. I seen VNNCG or C3 come back to the game. I've seen Dark Magistrate who zeroed himself come back to the game. Uh, and you know it's a costly game, guys. I mean, so it's like it's really costly, and it just makes me wonder how do these people keep spending so much money into this game? And I know I only spent like 22, and I didn't have all the champ gear and all that other stuff. Uh, so connection to server lost. Like I said, guys, I'm on a hotspot, so yeah, the internet it's gonna lag on this sometimes. So let's re-up again. Let's do it again. It's my baby there, guys. So I quit once I seen that I reached like $22,000 on this game. Like I said, it's $22,000 in about the course of over 2.5 years. So you're looking at somebody spending like 10, 12, or around that area per year on the game. When I figured it was going to be hindering me or my business, or should I say nowadays, I would say my business and partners business, because we're partners now. So when I knew it was hindering, when I realized when we actually sat down and counted how much we had spent, looked at all the Google receipts. So when you look at something like that and you're like, okay, well I can't keep investing in this, of course, because that would hinder and affect our finances, because we don't have a million just sitting in the bank, right? Or a million worth of credit. Some of these guys got $1 million worth of credit and they can continue to play this game. Okay, so somebody's telephone started. Anyway, let's see if I can find somebody on zero, guys, because I used to attack this guy. I need to upgrade. I would have upgraded, of course. I wanted him to be fully upgraded. This guy probably doesn't play anymore. So yeah, that's as I said. Like I said, it just so happened he just so happened to be at work, and the shield wasn't expired, and Daniel wasn't as deep into the game as I was. He has never spent a dime on the game, not even a penny. He's free to play, and he could spend just as many as thousands as I had, but he just he refused. That's good discipline to not spend on the game. So, like I said, I don't know the last time when he's logged in or anything. But I'll start getting on here in like the Coliseum, see where he's at ranked on the Coliseum, because he could be as high as top 10 in the Coliseum. But you see, I haven't been playing, right? I actually wanted this here, guys. He's ranked 1784 when he could easily be ranked at about number 1. Look at the top people in there, and I know they got much more heroes out now, but the hero lineup that I used to use, I was always in number 1 with these guys. I'm talking about, it's not hard to do. So that's something I'll try to work on for him in my spare time. So that's free gems, that's free money for him. But yeah, so I figured I'd tell you guys that I don't play anymore. I don't spend like that anymore in the game, because it's not worth the investment. That's money that's down the drain. You ain't gonna get that money back. And Yeah, you won't get that money back at all. Um, it's just lost money, guys. So I don't know who the people is in this kingdom here. Nice, very nice game. Starlights or whatever those is. Some big boys, Mike Rankin, always hit stuff like that. Somebody with 2.2 billion mics. And of course they're not safe. Nobody's safe if you're offline nowadays. The way the game has changed. So I don't play anymore because there's really no return on your investment. Like I said, I enjoyed the game. You know, I enjoyed being able to rally people. But even with the might I had then of 2.2 billion might, that ain't anything safe at all. I mean, you can easily get caught in a rally party and have to shield, be forced to shield. You know, and of course, if I probably had still been playing, who knows? I probably do 4 billion might, but that's not even safe. Period. I mean, at what point are you safe? You know, in this game. So I quit playing along with a lot of other people back in the days who had been playing or who had sold their account. I did try to sell my account on numerous occasions, and it just wasn't worth anything. It doesn't matter if I spent 20 plus $1,000 on it. It was only worth about $2,000, if that. And you know, the truth of the matter is, if I could have found somebody that was willing to pay $2,000, I might would have accepted it. I had a lot of people offer me $1,500, $1,700, and I wanted more than that. But they would not, you know, and you gotta trust them. So that's all I wanted to talk about now, guys, and hope you enjoyed the video, and I am out for now.